How's it going, passing viewer on the internet? I'm sure you've been listening to good music lately. BTS, Kanye West, 21 Pilots, all that good stuff. If you're also a sucker for electronic music, you've stumbled upon a very obscure music producer. I've been making music since around 2011, and boy, it was a crazy beginning. Now, when I say music producer, I rarely play live instruments. I would rely on DAWs and audio editing websites. If it weren't for Daft Punk and a few of these fine musical acts who influenced me, I wouldn't be creating what I've already made. Some of my work sounds great, at least I say so myself. However, there are tracks and compilations I, as of presenting this, have to consider cringy. Out of all my compilations I've posted on my Bandcamp, I'm running down the top 5 most stupidest tracks I've ever produced. Proceed at your own risk, because the following tracks I will play accordingly on this list is produced by me.
Number 5.
I give this rank to Voices from my EP Gravity Clone. During senior year in high school, I was into dubstep after hearing Skrillex's EPs and Flux Pavilion's I Can't Stop and Bass Cannon. I wanted to incorporate dubstep elements into my songs. Soundation was a pretty cool site to make my songs, and I gotta say, it is worth it. I had to dedicate time to think of how a song would sound when it comes down to arranging the audio loops and chopping the clips to my liking. Seriously, you have to be as creative as possible. Voices is really repetitive with the German vocalist performing an a cappella of some song, and I used that audio clip as the basis of the beat. Before I added my signature scratch wobble, as heard from the majority of tracks in Wrath of Tridokin, I experimented with the option to chop and arrange clips to suit the rhythm of the drum beat. The redeeming trait of the song? It's kinda catchy if you think past the repetitiveness.
Number 4.
Is Empty World from my album of the same name. While maintaining my desire to make music under the genre of electronic, I wanted my songs to have a dubstep sound. And boy, did I fail miserably the very first time. Because I was mesmerized by the production of Skrillex's Bangarang and Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites, I wanted to make the melodies from my tracks to resemble either Breaking a Sweat or First of the Year. As I made the drum beat, it turns out I was trying to sound like the third twin. Listen to their music and compare them with Skrillex. As a result of that equation, you have a track called Empty World. The context of the song? There's no real context. The redeeming trait to the song, however, that backing synth complements the overall track. Okay, let's move on.
Number 3.
Is Wreck Soul from Bounded. It's an equivalent to fuzzy screen noise. Add a drum beat, and presto, name it Wrecked Soul. I was feeling a little edgy during junior year while producing tracks for my old album, Bounded. For good measure, there's this one girl in one of my classes that I low-key had a crush on. I had no idea what she sounded like, but man, something else about her made me feel cool. Like a cool guy producing music like Justice. The composition of Rex Soul was meant to pay homage to one of my earlier songs, which I will reveal later on this list. The redeeming trait to this track. This could be used for my future YouTube videos if I wanted to.
Number 2.
Is One and Only from my third and old album, Joyride. While inspired by Daft Punk's composition style when they did Discovery, I thought it'd be cool if I added my vocals into One and Only. Musically, It's an upbeat song consisting of audio loops of some song with the singing, yeah, and then I added my one and only to add it the catchiness factor. Even though I classify this track as one of the stupidest I've ever produced, I like this track for how it sounded, despite the quality of my vocals. Literally, I recorded my voice by using the laptop microphone. If I haven't mentioned the redeeming traits to the song, it's upbeat, and the vibe it conveys makes me think about waking up in some luxurious hotel to meet someone pretty. Let's listen to it again, shall we? And the most stupidest song I've ever produced is
Number 1.
When I'll Be Gone from Joyride.
I'm all alone, and I thought I was low. Seeing staring at the stars up above. But out of my mind that you're proving me wrong. You know what I mean, then this is when I'll be gone.
The theme of Joyride is the aftermath of the 2012 Mayan apocalypse. Would there be survivors after the scenario of a meteor shower attacking Earth? At the time of making the album, I felt proud of the final products of each track. If you've heard of Aviary, you'd also know they had an application suite. That is also the same place I conceived my Shuriken symbol for the very first time. The majority of Joyride's songs are mostly arrangements of audio loops provided by Mina Audio Editor. In the case of When I'll Be Gone, the lyrics are describing a story about a couple who broke up, and coincidentally, the couple are survivors. However, to the boyfriend's disappointments, the ex-girlfriend has already found someone else to love. Like I've made one and only, I sang while moving close to the laptop mic. At the time, I didn't have a microphone to connect to the computer. During 2012, man, I was one of the paranoid idiots who believed the world was literally going to end at December 21st. Remember Rexol? Chronologically, said track is homage to this track, When I'll Be Gone. Now, the redeeming trait of this song? Well, it's one of the first songs I've made with vocals. With that said, this is the top 5 stupidest tracks produced by me. Collectively, these tracks are classified as the tracks of old DJ Hipsong. 7 years and counting, my musical style is evolving with one program to another. If I were to play a live instrument, I'd play those drums you use for electronic music. When it comes to making music, you have to consider the following: a good drum beat, melodies, arps, and chords that can be remembered, and lyrics that can have meaning. Not to mention, it doesn't matter what instrument you use. Music can be made in some way. Just be creative. In my case, I use DAWs. To finally conclude this video, here's a recent comic entry of miscellaneous stupidity. If you've made it this far, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed if you dare to see more content I'll be providing. To find me, seek the Shuriken symbol. I'll see you in a new video where I talk about the coolest songs I've produced. Until then, cheers!